Alrighty, so Thirsty Musings episode 1, where I had the pleasure of sitting down in a more comfortable seat than this, sitting down with Calvin, who runs a bottle shop in Lowfell. I sat down with him in February of this year, 26, and at that point in time, he was full speed ahead on getting his new premises, uh, basically just adding the sort of finishing touches to his new premises, which, as well as being a bottle shop, is now, today in May 2026, it is now a tap room, it's a coffee shop. It's open throughout the day from, I think it's 8 till 6 o'clock, something like that. Get like small bits of food and whatnot. So yeah, I kind of had a chat with Calvin at quite a busy time in his business's life, and yeah, it was a real pleasure for me to see a business which hadn't been going for a huge amount of time. I think it was about uh I think it was just after COVID, so 4 years ago when he'd set up, and he offers something different to what's available where he's based on. It's kind of like the high street in Lowfell, like Durham Road, uh, and that different offering is very high quality, sort of like foodstuffs and alcohol, but like uh, things that you would either just eat straight away or cook yourself or drink on a special occasion. And he also focuses, well, yeah, he focuses on local suppliers and the quality of what he sells. Them two things, I think, first and foremost, which tees me up nicely to blowing the Thirsty Moose trumpet and saying that those two things which allowed us to cross paths. Uh, he's been a customer, well, the Rare Drop have been a customer of ours since we uh, opened up pretty much. I think he tried our beers early and liked them. Unfortunately, we've, uh, yeah, sort of kept the quality up from his perspective and been able to sell to him. So, yeah, yeah, in- interesting from my perspective for sure to see his path from school right the way through to the Rare Drop. Again, uh, it's certainly unconventional and um, yeah, like worked in a bunch of different industries, and the Rare Drop was a passion project for him, which I think is certainly one of the best ingredients to having a successful endeavor. Um, so yeah, um, personally, I was very happy with how this one came out, and happy to get the ball rolling and get off and running with doing these podcasts. Uh, let's keep them going. Sweet. Cheers. Hope you enjoy, guys. See ya. The post of your dad over the weekend at Arsene Wenger.
It was creased at that. It's my daughter's birthday today. Yeah, we had the party on Saturday, and I needed him for 2 hours until I've got stuff. And I always hate leaving the brace alone. Yeah, but he wears that stupid red coat. And to be honest, Facebook pays us for videos. So
What, you're that popular?
no, like I mean, it's only like £5 a month or something. But the more we do, and the more we get shared, the more the pay will.
All right.
So I try to do. I've been shitting at this year, but I'm gonna do a full coming soon for the next month. The council's coming at 4 o'clock to make sure we're all okay, because not officially allowed to be doing anything. So
How did God?
so as soon as the council say it's all right this afternoon, I'm going to start. All the videos I've got ready are going to be coming soon, and then we've got the whole process of looking at it like a year ago to now, like where it's at now. So I putting them out on every couple of days.
Yeah.
I build like a TikTok following, and hopefully TikTok start paying with, and then the more videos we get, more reels. Facebook and it's Meta start paying with more.
Oh, good.
But it's not poetry, but it's just like always comes in handy. And then you get the following and the online sales.
I mean, in and of itself, it's an essential part of
Yeah.
growing your customer base. But did Facebook reach out to you?
No, it's just funny about when we met a business suite and it says you can monetize this. So I was like, yeah, it's just for the business. So I've got my old profiles on there I've had forever.
Yeah.
But I never go on myself saying like, I'll tag you in this. Oh, I have no idea. It's just for the business.
I don't know, at the time. I mean, yeah. Trying to get like 2-3 posts a week out is, yeah.
So I mainly stories these days, and that's the best way to the people who come in here, where they want to see this, look at you. So again, right, they've got those sellers in, you've got those IPs are new in,
Yeah.
and then that's the best way I've found.
We should both.
Yeah.
People tell you that as well.
Yeah, but here's your stories out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to. I don't want to block up me whole page with just new beer of the week. It's like when it's so big, like it's Rigging Furrow's birthday, so got a Rigging Furrow region, so they'll get a post. But other than that, it's just these are the new sellers on stories, and then they do basically like pinned at the top. These are the 8 taps. So then when we change the taps, new 8 taps, so everybody knows that's what's on at the minute, rather than like brand new beer this week or whatever.
Yeah.
As you get it anyway.
Right. So let's rewind.
Yeah.
But before the tap room, before the red drop, was just a twinkle in your eye. Are you from the area?
Yeah, so I'm from Lowfell. I went to St. Peter's up the road, and lived here most of my life. Always lived in E9. Then I moved to Bristol for a bit for work, and then I moved back to down, which is now the railway corner. I lived above the railway, but when I lived there was nothing there, and as soon as I left, there's now like coffees or pubs, and there's different like a wine shop in there. And I went to school here. Then I went to school in Washington, and wasn't very good at school. Don't have any qualifications, so I went to work at Safeway when I was 16 on the tills there, and just bopped about with different jobs and ended up on the railway. And did that for a long time, about 14, 15 years. Wasn't really happy on the railway. I left the railway at one point to try to open a pub in Newcastle. That's what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do my own thing and basically just stand behind the bar. So I left the railway in, I think, 2015 to open a bar and had it all planned out, sold the flat I was living in to finance it, and it didn't work at all. So I went back to the railway, got even more depressed. That was around 2016. And then stayed in the railway for a bit, still wasn't happy. Decided to leave again to do more community work, which is what I wanted to do at the time. Got involved in that, got involved in environmental campaigning, and eventually went to work for a charity. A charity, and then I moved to a different charity. I wasn't really happy and just happened to be out on Lowfell, and I knew a lot of the guys out there. I knew the owners of the Rare Drop at the time, so it was an existing bottle shop, and they've got a pub around the corner as well called the Beer Drop, so I was in there drinking, and the owner that just happened to mention that his wife wanted to sell this, and I couldn't stop thinking about it unless I get insomnia. So I stayed up all night. I wrote a whole business plan out.
That very night.
Yeah, when I get something, I
was after hearing of.
just can't sleep.
Yeah.
So I was up all night, did that. Planned my whole thing out, what I was going to do. So it was a bottle shop, so they did the cans, the spirits, and the wine. And I knew I wanted to add a bit more, and I wanted to turn it into a specialty food and drink shop. And I always, because I was a environmental campaigner and I've always been quite community oriented, I wanted to focus on things made in Gateshead or in the Northeast. So just starting to look at what's available in the Northeast, and then just thought we'll have everything in the shop as much as we can, the very best things we can get from the Northeast, from Berwick to Borough. And it's kind of grown, like the more I looked at stuff, the more I found stuff. So it started off with just like cheeses and things like that. Then it was coffee and curries and crisps and hot sauces and honeys and all sorts of different stuff, all made from and we go Annick gin. We'll get cocktails from Gisborough, but crisps from Sea Houses and coffee from Sacriston and everything in between.
So, so how long did it take for you to, on the ingredients front, since we're talking about them? So we're flying through, but
Yeah.
we'll go from when you opened.
Sure.
Was it beer initially, or was it always?
So I found out it was a Valentine's weekend. Obviously, Valentine's weekend, so middle of February, 2023, I think it was. And we were drinking in the pub, me and my partner, and Charlie says, Judy wants to sell this. And I was like, right. I told her what I wanted to do. I'll figure it out. So from the February to, I think it was the June, when I figured out how I was going to do it, convinced my dad and me were going to be one of my best friends to give us some money to do it, because I don't have any money. And set up a business and learn how to set up a business and all that, and get an accountant and how the till machines work and stuff like that. So we took over in the June, and from the June we kept it running as normal until the August. Whereas when we shut down on a Saturday night and we opened on a Wednesday night, as the new rare drop kind of thing. So we added the whole food range, all that kind of stuff, all the cheeses, the curries, and we had, at the time we had a butcher's from up Berwick way, so we had like nice cured meats and things like that from them. Ham and charcuterie, fantastic butcher.
So you learned pretty early on,
Yeah.
that when people were thinking of what alcohol they wanted to have for their dinner party or whatnot, had half an hour.
It kind of goes hand in hand. So
Yeah,
if they're coming here buying curries and a few cans to go with the curry, or they're coming and buying the pastas and the cheeses and some wine to make a nice meal with it. And the kind of things went hand in hand. But then we just kept adding and putting more shelves up and using more space that we could buy more boxes, getting more and more stuff. And it's kind of all fitting around just a local, but like a happy food scene. So you come and you know you're going to be able to get some nice charcuterie and some cheeses and crisps and chutneys to me. You can make like another night, and obviously we do like hamper boxes as well. So it's just been Valentine's Day again, and Mother's Day is coming up soon, and we'll do a hamper box with a bit of everything, and you can add 4 cans or a white or rosy or a red or a sparkling into the things. Now we've set up a website probably so you can customize it and tailor it how you want.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, at the minute, coffee's the biggest thing I'm selling. Coffee beans from Sacriston, made locally, roasted locally. Sorry. And it's mad how you kind of see how things go and then they don't. And obviously, hot chocolates are massive November, December, and they're quieting down a bit now. But then we'll put them in hammers for different things. And like I say, now coffee's a big thing, but it's cool that people want a proper homebrew coffee.
Interesting. Do they say how they make it? Are these customers people who've got like full on machines, or do they just put?
So it depends. I mean, we do different grinds, so people can just get an espresso or a cafetiere.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just want the beans, and I found that, I mean, I don't know if this is right to say, but when we were kids, I didn't smoke much, but a lot of people smoked, and now it's the use of the fingers and the grinding of the beans and stuff like that they like to do, and it's like a repetitive
With a sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So rather, they don't smoke anymore, so it's them now making a slow process of making, of grinding a bean and brewing a coffee themselves. I find with some of them, not all of them, but a lot of people, especially during COVID, got into that kind of thing. So now they know that come here and get a proper northeast coffee, bean in various strength degree, and go home and do what I want with it. And then,
Yeah, man. So I want to go back to a couple of things in that story. No, it's good. You gave me like the material, and then now I can think about where I want to like double click and explore. So that night where you'd heard about this being up for sale,
Yeah.
and then not being able to sleep,
Yeah.
like insomnia, of course,
Yeah.
is an absolute bastard. But do you not think there's something like, it's a bit cringe, but a bit magical in those moments when your brain's running at like 90 miles an hour, top gear, and you just, all the ideas and just.
So I know when I've got insomnia, it's because I'm thinking about something all the time. So that night, like, what normally happens is I'll wake up in the middle of the night, 1 or 2 o'clock, and I'll get up and I'll do the dishes, I'll make myself a cup of tea, I'll find a movie to put on the background and I'll get loads of work done. Whether that's just paying invoices or whatever. But at that point, it was just like, right, put down exactly what you think this is good is and what it can be and what you want to do with it. And then, in order, it took a couple of weeks for us to get the people I needed and convince them that that was a thing. Lucky enough, me and my dad, me and Lola, like really good blokes, and it just took us a few drinks on the fell to go down to the pubs that we've always gone to and chat about it, and we're dead supportive, and went definitely. And I sent the idea to a couple of mates of mine who are into this kind of thing and says, "What do you think of this?" And immediately, or more than one of them was like, "I want to be involved." So I wasn't even trying to get their buy-in, but they wanted to be involved in what we were doing. And then I had to stop telling people, "Well, we can't take any more people on. There's only so much of a business that they can be. I'm going to shake a bit more." Yeah. So yeah.
So you were sort of getting the local pub scenes like approval in a way, or like getting advice, but
No, not the whole pub scene. It's just to get me dad and me all convinced. We went out for a few pints because that's what
honestly, you did go around it.
so we'd just get out in the drink.
Gotcha.
So we've always been members of the Thomas Wilson Club since. Well, I've been drinking there since I was about 14, 13. And then you join when you're 18, and they're not happy because if you join there for years. So we just hit a few pubs on the fell, and I remember, in fact, we came up with a company name in the Black Horse Beer Garden. The Black Horse Beer Garden on the fell is on a sunny day. It's just absolutely great. And we're sitting out there, and we had to come up with a company name, and we couldn't be called the Rare Drop because their business was already called the Rare Drop, the company. So obviously the trade name of the company name can be different. And we're all Sunderland fans anyway, and the other lad involved was a Sunderland fan. So we're thinking of what we call the company. And we settled on Till I Die, because that's what we used to sing when we always saw the match here. So the company's called Till I Die Limited. But we came up with that in the Black Horse Beer Garden because we've always drank on it, and that's where it was, and it felt quite natural.
That's good
for us to do that.
Good mindset.
Yeah.
No fucking around.
Yeah.
Class. And then, what did you learn from when you first had a crack at opening a pub in Newcastle? To like when you were writing up that business plan for here, what were you drawing upon the first time round?
Certainly the first time, I think I was just too keen, but also too, I guess, naive. So I'm thinking, I can do this. I know everything about beer. I've been bitten all my life. And not really appreciating all the levels of complexity, whether it be the building regs or the council or the police. And you've got to go to meetings with the police and be like, we want to open up in this area. And they're like, it's not allowed because it's a restricted red zone. So with that, it was a lot more comfortable than I thought. And again, set up a company and you trust solicitors and accountants and stuff to do stuff for you. And it's realistic, a lot you can just do yourself, and they're just charging you £1,000 for the privilege. So with this, just did it basically did it all ourselves. So I still made a load of mistakes doing this, and spent far too much money on stuff I didn't have to, because you think that's what you've got to do. But realistically, what was good from the first time we tried to order pub is I built a lot of industry knowledge of suppliers and stuff like that. So I knew when we came in here who I could speak to immediately, and I started a lot of contacts and email addresses or business cards, that kind of thing, with people I can get in touch with straight away for how we wanted to do it. But then when we took over this place, it became quite apparent to me straight away that when I was looking at different beers and different breweries from around the country, that I think we are quite, especially in the Northeast, we're blessed with the breweries that we've got. I think we've got the best breweries in the country, and certainly for the for the amount we've got in such a small area and for such a limited population. There's got to be 50 that's really fantastic independent breweries from Berwick to Borough. And a few have shut down. We've lost a couple in the last couple of years. But I certainly think we've got the best density of breweries in the country. We're certainly better than every other region. And there's some massive breweries and there's some tiny ones. And they all make different type of beers, but all make solid beers. You know, there's no brewery that isn't on the radar for a reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah, anyone who's got a reputation. Yeah, for sure. I've often wondered this because I've been working with Thirsty Moose since like last summer, and I felt like I was looking at it from a biased perspective of like, I've only really seen the Northeast brewing scene, but it's like, there's like no end, like taproom, a pub, a bottle shop could easily go through more than 20 different breweries if they're thinking of getting another beer in to add to the selection. Like, I don't know what it's like in Manchester or Bristol or, London. It's not, can't really call it one city because I think each but like area of London's gonna have their own network of breweries. But I suppose like when I look at like national wholesalers, there is always a strong representation from Northeast breweries. And like, say if we're like the sort of 8th biggest, 10th biggest city, like there is like a disproportionately high amount of breweries that are from the area. So
I mean, it's the whole culture of the Northeast. I mean, people might see it as a negative, but like people come to, I was working the railway, as I said, and people will come on the train every single weekend or every single day for a stag do or a party, but people will be coming every day just to go out. And Newcastle keeps trying to build hotels. The kids are trying to build hotels because there's not enough bedrooms in the Northeast or in the town where for a weekend because everybody's wanting to come to the gigs or to see something. But if you went to somewhere a similar population as in like Glasgow somewhere, there'll be the same amount of pubs, but over a huge difference. So just if you talk about Newcastle City Centre, you could go out around Semble, or you can go down the quayside, or you can go to Jesmond, or anywhere. There's 8 different nights you could have just within about half a mile of each other, and yet not go to the same pubs as somebody else. Whereas if you go to any other city, it's not like that. I feel like that's what we like to do, and it might be obviously it's a very world class area, and that's just what we like to do after work, or you're down for a pub lunch or whatever. But that's kind of what sets the region apart. And people might not think that's healthy, but it is part of the cultural identity. And Scottish Newcastle was one of the biggest employers in Newcastle. Obviously, they went to the Fed, and obviously they've shut down now. But there's an independent movement in the last 15, 20 years come up, and is creating and supplying a lot of businesses, and should be supplying a lot more. If the bigger chains and pubs knew what we're offering, there would be a much higher quality of selection in pubs in the Northeast if the bigger chains would allow their local and area managers to take control of the purchasing. And I've tried to work with bigger chains like Green King, and they won't allow them any sort of autonomy to pick and choose what they want around local beers. You could put casks in all of those pubs that are only made in the Northeast or only made in a certain area around them, and it would fly out. But there's certainly an unwillingness to do that from upper management, which will centrally based in London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they just see what beers they've got on a spreadsheet and don't have that much of an idea about local tastes. And
it's your national brand made in Holland and or Diageo or something like that for dirt cheap, and you know it's going to expire in a week, but you know you can sell 1,000 pints in that time. So we'll get in the cheapest stuff they can that's ready to go out of date, rather than what I've tried to do here is, well, very arrogantly, is I believe that I'm picking out the best curry in the Northeast. So that Mandela Express goes in there, even though there's a lot of other Northeast curry suppliers. I can say that I believe that that's the best curry, and I'll have the best quality of curry in my shop at all times. And everything that comes in gets tried before it comes in, so I know it's good enough to be in the shop, whether that be a non-alcoholic beer or a bottle of wine. It has to be of a quality to come in, or from somebody I trust. I know if you rang them and said, we've got a new beer coming in, I know it's going to be good because I trust what you say because I've had your products before.
Yeah.
It's
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's it's certainly good to hear, and like it's a two-way street, isn't it? Because you can then have conversations with your customers, hear them the full origin story.
Yeah.
And like the folks who like occupy a space on your shelves here are probably quite a long way from getting listed in somewhere like Tesco or Waitrose or whatever. So like their advantage is to like connect with the customer through like, and you're like the conduit that sits between like what they're trying to do differently and how their products, their ingredients are better, and then like pass on to the customer. Because like it's it is obviously very easy to get like very distant food delivered straight to your door, but like life's too short for just sitting at home and getting a constant stream of homogenous food. Like you wanna meet people and discover new things. So
And part of what's here is obviously this is a small family. This is I've got 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a partner at home. But when they come in, they're not just supporting my business and my family. There's 53 local, small, independent Northeast businesses that we stock. So it's every single one of those that are being supported when you come here. And that could be from Whit and Gilbert with Screaming Chimp or New Maycliffe or anywhere else is different from across them. You know, when you purchase them again, you're supporting their business as well. And that's how it works. And that's what we're talking about the community and the environmental focus of it, is that it's all just local and it all goes back to small independent businesses and small family businesses as well. I mean, some of the breweries have been taken over and bought out, but others might not be small independent or working class small families, but the vast majority of the suppliers we have are just a family, and it's 2 brothers or in fact there's one of the breweries is 3 brothers and 2 sisters and us there. Yeah, so it's stopped now. So the sisters make the spirits and the brothers make the beers.
class.
But yeah.
Yeah. How do you run the shop on a day-to-day basis? Like you've got hundreds of different products. Like how do you keep things?
So it's what is it? It's all in my head.
The Mind Palace.
Yeah. So like I say on Saturday was my youngest daughter's birthday party, so I had to leave and my dad had to be here, and my mum. I think we had to care.
Awesome, don't you?
Yeah, awesome in there. And I know they're not going to know what I know about every product. So I try and write down and tell them what I think, or if there's wines I know out or in that I would recommend to people, I'll tell them which ones. But basically, I try every beer that comes in, every wine that comes in, all the bits of food go in. I try it also. I know exactly what it tastes like, and I know where it's come from. I know a lot of stuff. I know who's made it. So I can tell them exactly like that, and I can tell them where it's come from and who it's made by and why it tastes like this or why they do it like that. So people like that, the story that but that's all in my head. And when I do take on staff, I'm going to have to, I appreciate that nobody's ever going to give a shit as much as I do, but I'm going to try and it's still in that people come for the story and the understanding of the products and what there's a reason why they're here and the reason why we stock them. So people will come in and say, have you got Baileys or something like that? No, we don't stock Baileys, but we do have Flight from my girlfriend and then it's on Green from
Yeah.
So we've got locally made products that are better in quality, that they're just not mass produced.
Yeah. I don't know how much it would cost, but maybe with the best sellers or whatnot, like I'm sure if your future members of staff would like taste them for themselves, then like the light bulb goes.
So that's what we're doing. When
Yeah.
anything goes in, well, instead of me just taped home, we'll all be doing a proper taste, and I'll be writing a new product portfolio every week saying this is what's coming in. If you haven't tasted, taste it when you come in. So they know and understand what's coming in, they've tasted it, they understand it. And when I'm looking for staff, it's going to be people that already give a shit about that, who like to drink wine, who care about food and drink, who cook at home. And they've got that, I don't want to say passion, because I think that's quite, I don't like the word passion, so that kind of thing. And that's the kind of life that they enjoy. So that's what I'm going to be telling on stuff, is people who do care about that kind of thing already. And it's just, it's less work. It's more like, this is what I like anyway. And
It's just the extension of the personality. Yeah, for sure. That must be pretty imminent then.
Yeah.
You're hiring.
Obviously, don't know when this is coming out, but so
That's true. Yeah, well, so also the 23rd today. Make for the record, 23rd of February. So it might be a month's time.
So we are expanding. We're taking on stuff, and I've put the advert out last Monday. In terms of being overwhelmed by the amount of applicants,
Brilliant.
too many. So we're trying to whittle that down. There's a lot of people, as I said before, I've got no qualifications. I didn't go to university or college. So there's people applying that are far more qualified than me, far more intelligent than me, and we're just I'm picking out people. But I've put it. I don't really care about anybody's CV, and I don't care what they've done. It's more about what they like. So if they can come in the shop and pick up half a dozen things and say, "Oh, I would make this with this," or "I would go out and do that tonight," that kind of thing. That's what I'm bothered about. So when I am going to start interviewing people in the next week or so, that's what I'm going to be asking them. Not about, I don't care if you got a star in maths or whatever. it's not applicable for this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it seems,
I think
yeah.
it's like, it's totally subjective, like
Yeah.
what you deem to be over qualified, right? Yeah, because someone might come in here with 3 A stars, A level or whatever higher degree, but like I feel like they're well suited. Like those qualifications are designed for huge companies that need to make like a quick decision where they sort of outsource their assessment of the person to this like
Yeah.
collective set of exams that we all have to do. But like the first thing you just said there is like, if they can chat someone's head off about food without being prompted for 15 minutes, that's going to be worth a lot more than
Yeah. It's good. We all about
like
personality then, about
quadratic equation sales, I feel.
and I even saw on some of the applications I went, they're expert in upselling. But I don't want that either. I just want you to, if you came into the shop and like, all right, it's kind of, oh, this is what's like that, or this is what I like. So I often just recommend my favorite stuff when I come in, even though I know for a fact that it's only giving me a bottle of wine. My favorite isn't the best wine I've got, but it's my favorite, and I like it for a reason. And I can explain to you why the other wines are better, and why they cost a lot more. But my favorite is X, Y, Z. But yeah, so when they said they were expert and upsellers, oh, that's not what I want. I don't want people to be pressured all when they come in. It should be a relaxed atmosphere. You come in because you want to be there, and people come in here because of we've got new stuff every week, and they want to see what we've got next. Not because we're gonna upsell them on something or trick them into buying something else. People come in, I hope they come in, although they tell us that they come in, is that because they know we'll have new stuff. There's a fridge full of beer there, probably 10 different breweries. Probably more actually when they've taken the sours and the stouts and the Germans and the Belgians and Italians. But next week there'll be 5 different breweries in there, and it's a constant roll and change of everything that's new's coming out. So whenever there's a new beer coming out, we always take it in, give it a go. If it's any good, it stays there.
Yeah, that's good. Good to keep the bar high for the finite space that you've got in your fridge. That you want to make sure that like the incumbent good beers are challenged all the time with, right?
I mean, there's nothing that stays in the fridge constantly. On the 21, obviously, our own beer is always there when it's available. Yeah, it's obviously, but I made that beer for myself. So again, I arrogantly say that's my favorite beer because I made it to be exactly what I wanted it to be. And it comes out every autumn, so it'll be running that. There's not many left now.
So that was the second.
So I was the second batch of the Microbush collaboration, made by Twice Brewed. So I was doing some work with Gates of College, where their students make products for the shop, and the design students design the packaging and all that kind of stuff. And
for here.
yeah,
So sweet.
I was just, because sometimes I get bored in here on an afternoon, where on Tuesday afternoon when it's quiet, even though to be honest now Tuesdays are absolutely chock-a-block in here. So this was obviously 2 years ago, so it was the second batch. I was just thinking, what should we do? And I was thinking, I'll get in touch with Gates of College and see if their catering students want to make something for us to put in the shop, and they can use the money to buy themselves more new equipment or a Christmas party. But they actually decided they were going to give that money to charity when they made it. So they made a range of chutneys and a range of Christmas puddings for us to sell for them on the shelves. And their students came to the shop, learn about the shop. The design students patterns of things, and we should be doing more with them, but I have not been in touch with you because we've been trying to expand. I've been very busy.
Sure.
So after the Gates College, it was one afternoon. The shop wasn't open, so I all popped to the Microbus for a couple of pints on the way home, and see a lot of those guys. And I didn't know those guys really well at the time, but Susie came straight over. She was like, "Oh, Calvin," and I was like, "Yeah." And she just sat out. She was like, "Do you want to do something together?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "What?" She was like, "Well, let's make a beer." I was like, "All right, well, what brewery?" And she said, "Twice Brewed or Great." And I had Twice Brewed or Great Brewery. I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I was just sitting there, have a couple of pints, and I emailed Matt from Twice Brewed and Karen and Susie from the Microbus and says, "These are the kind of hops I like. These are the kind of beers. This is the kind of beer I like." So I picked up my hops, and I was like a thick, hazy 6% IPA. And Matt was like, "Yeah, no problem." Took us a few weeks to discuss the essentials of it. Obviously, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to brew it. And it came out September, October that year, and it went down fantastically well. So we were flying out, selling it to all the local pubs around the area. Everybody was selling it. It's called on the 21. Gates had written on it.
I not
No extra today, sorry.
right, because I was hoping to yourself in some a vlogger by any chance.
Yes, but which goes today, sorry.
Right,
We came back tomorrow, so yeah.
Just cheers. Sorry, but he was out there for like 5 minutes before better.
bitter or mint?
Bitter. I've got some bitter, but not loads.
Not loads, man.
Yeah.
That's
Cheers. That's it. So normally I would just say that, but obviously we've got stuff with the rain up. Keeping and all kind of people keep people out, man. That's what I was really over the lights. So yeah, anyway, the 21 down ran really well, and we decided to make it an annual thing. So it came out again last year, and I'll get back in touch with Matt in about June and see it come up another batch in their schedule. Obviously, you know that a brewery schedule is a very tight thing, so we'll try and fit and squeeze in where we can.
You'll probably have a mental note that
Oh yeah,
yeah, some room of the
and
third iteration.
yeah. So I've got one can of the first batch. I've got a few cans there for the second batch, and then my plan is eventually to try it on all first batch, second batch on keg, all in one go. See if you taste any. Obviously, the same beer goes off, but really it just changes the shape and flavour.
Yeah.
So we'll see if there's any major differences in in what it comes out like. Want to get a chance?
So the Gateshead College element was interesting. Was that just like an inspiration? Like,
It was again. Like, obviously, I've done community work before, and I just thought there's an opportunity there for somebody to try that, and they were very receptive and like, yes, exactly one time. I met with the same date team.
they did the can design, or
No, sorry, no.
Right.
So the kids call it so yeah, the college we had a chutney and Christmas puddings.
Yeah.
And on my way home, I went for a pint in the microbus, and they said, yeah, it had nothing to do with the college.
right.
So I met with a chef teacher and a few of the other teacher head of years and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I need to chase them up to get them more involved, especially in the new place that we're going to be in, and to do more and get them involved. And we're going to certainly get back in touch with them. But it was just happened to be on that day. As soon as he says,
Start me story. Yeah. I gotta say the designs, I think it's fab. And the BF designs did twice brewed. Take care.
yeah, so Matt was just like, we'll do this. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Susie came up with a name because obviously they get the 21 here to shop here, I get the 21 down there to drink there.
Yeah.
And it's the main one. I mean, realistically, we could be doing this to the pubs in Framwell Gate and Durham City Centre because the 21 goes everywhere.
Yeah.
From the Me and I Cat to is it called the Station House on the
Oh yeah.
in the
In Durham.
underneath the bridge? What's that stanchion thing called? So it could literally go to every pub, but we've never had to chase that up because it turns out it goes down too well. The Slash, yeah, it's a suburb beer. Thankfully, I remember the first day it arrived, it was like 9:30 on the Tuesday morning, and I had a can immediately. And I took a photo, I texted me, he was like, God, it's only 10 o'clock. I was like, I would have had to see what it was like, because I never got a chance to go to the brewery.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was going to be like, but it turned out it was fantastic. And I was made from the Gatesfeld Cricket Club. And I donated a can up there for the their beer festival. And I finished it on a 7 o'clock on a Friday night. I went straight up, and luckily there was some left, but they sold out straight away after that. So someone should get 2 or 3 pints off them before it sold it.
Yeah. And people just resonate with the name, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It works in
also you as a two.
Yeah.
Like,
Obviously, it's got Microsoft's logo and our logo.
Yeah.
Mine and Susie's names. And even though it's just like Gated written on, some people buy for that. And it's got 21 written on. And it is a bit strong for some people, but it's a very tasty beer.
But it's like it's quite sweet, isn't it? Yeah. You were kind enough to give me a can when I did your Christmas.
To be honest, so there's chucking it around.
Yeah. And I happy to get involved in it, and I saved it for Christmas Day. But I can still remember like tropical, like sweet sort of pina colada up front, and it's like, yeah, lush and like, I wouldn't call it cloudy. I'd call it like almost like matte.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
light orange. Yeah, it was a lovely color, like uniform color too.
Yeah. No, he's done a great job, and it's a great brewery up there.
Aye, right.
And
That's awesome.
these beers don't miss, to be honest. Especially if we're just talking about a brewery for a minute. I'm not a massive fan of sour beers, and I feel like some breweries just throw sugar at it. Whereas I feel like Twice Brewed really do a good sour because there's more balance and effort put into the beer than just high in sweeteners at it.
So there's more depth of flavour.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive fan of Danline Burdock, and they do a Danline Burdock sour. So that always can do well.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Happy days. So when it comes to new products that you obviously got so many, but like,
Yeah.
do you get approached quite a lot? Do you?
A bit, yeah. So I think I've been looking for a chocolate for a while, but it's again, people are so busy and they're running a small family business. You really got to chase people up and drag the products out of them. But new stuff for us, we just took on some matcha from Whitley Bay. So tins of that from War Matcha.
Oh yeah.
And trying to think what else. We took on Marlish Water from Northumberland. We did have Fairy Cola from Asherton, but unfortunately they shut down. So Marlish Water is going to be a range of tonics.
Yeah.
Marvel Waters.
I don't know how long they've been going, but they've just like
They've just burst.
and they're like,
And I tried to use it. So they don't want to. Some companies don't want to deal direct. So I'm trying to use smaller distributors for the things, rather than going to the massive guys because, as you say, they're so popular. They're going everywhere now. But for local products, I think that's about it for now. But as we're looking to expand, we're going to be taking on more stuff, doing more stuff. In fact, we just done a little collab with Great Enough Provisions or Great Enough Pies. JMP it is on Instagram, and he made beef brisket and on the number 21 pies. And I got the first batch of 12 sold out in the first 2 hours. So I got in touch with Perry. I was saying, what else you got left? I've only got 10 left, but I'm taking them to the market. I was like, no, I'll take a lot. And they sold out as soon as I got them as well. So
sounds like it'll be a permanent picture.
So it was just having a chat, obviously, as they were moving to a new place. So we're going to work with people like the Urban Bakery to do stuff with us. And I got in touch with him, and he straight away took a few cans, took a few curries. So luckily enough, I spoke to John from Mandela Express and Chris from the pies. So I'm hoping to get them to make us curry pies. And John was very up for that. So again, we're going to be having curry pies, and then you know, like cool penal lager or something like that. Be perfect.
I love hearing stuff like that. Like 2 or 3 local, like purveyors of quality goods, like getting together. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the new project.
So named the Red Drop.
The Red Drop.
So obviously we're the Red Drop now on Beachfield Road in Lowfell, and as we were saying before, we've added shelves and new products and all that. But basically outgrown where we are, so we had to expand anyway. And if I was ever going to take any time off, I had to have some staff. That's why we're looking for staff. But to have staff, we obviously have to make more money to cover the cost of that. So we'll move to a bigger location just down the road, which when this comes out, should be open hopefully. So it's on the corner of Durham Road and Bellevue Bank, right on the front. So every time a bus goes past, everybody will be able to see it. And we're going to have about, say, 30-40 seats in there, but we're going to have a bigger range as well. So we're going to have 8 taps of Always Northeast beer, a house lager, a house stout, and 6 changing. Again, very arrogantly, I've picked what I think is the best lager in the Northeast and the best stout in the Northeast. So yeah, permanently going to be on there. But if you ever came in and went, Calvin, I think I've got a better lager than this. As long as it's a cold beer, what we can do is side-by-side comparison and have a vote.
Yeah, see what certain ethos is the phrase.
That's just it. Yeah. So the house lager is going to be Land Beer from Big and Furrow, which for me is the best lager. And the house stout is going to be Black Wave from Vauxhall in Sunderland, which for me is the best stout in the Northeast. So if you came in and said, Calvin, I've got a better stout than that, then fair enough. We'll put it, that's going to be on number 8 tap. We'll put yours on number 7. And we'll do a like for like, and everybody come in and buy half a pint of each or a can of each, and we'll have a vote. And whichever wins, wins. I'm
up for that.
Yeah. Don't mind the don't see always with.
Yeah. Box Populi.
Yes.
So it's going to be Northeast focused.
Northeast. All the beers, all the spirits will be Northeast all the time. Obviously a bit of Scotch, maybe a bit of bourbon, just because we can't do that. So
I'd get for it.
So obviously we've currently got their Furlands Flight, as I mentioned, their Standard Tack and Barrel, which is a 4th batch, and their Sauternes Cask edition. So they'll always be on. Obviously the Sauternes is a limited edition, so when that goes, it goes. But they'll bring a new one, I'm sure. And also Filey Bay from Yorkshire whiskey, which for me is probably one of the best English whiskies there is. Single malt. Tack and Barrel haven't bought out their single malt yet. I'd get for them.
Because they've not been long enough to.
It's still in stills.
Gotcha.
So
is it 5 years?
It's 5 years. Yeah. And then you can, in fact, this year it's coming out, so then you can buy it and you put it away for another 5 years. Or you can put it in red wine cask. So you'll be able to do stuff with it. and I'm hoping to be able to be part of that. Join the Founders Club and buy a batch, and I'm hoping in 10 or 15 years' time we're gonna have our own rare drop real whiskey that we've aged in a certain way that we like. But we'll have to see because that's it cost. But I'm spending a lot on the Ubers.
I love the concept.
But anybody can do that, you know what I mean? As long as you've got a few quid, which we do not.
Current time.
But yeah, so it'll be, you'll be able to come in and taste, whether it be rhubarb would be gin, or pomegranate rooibos from Holy Island's 793 Spirits. Just get this one. So and but it'll all be on with more small water tonics. And then obviously we're going to keep the fine wine range, but we're going to expand on that. And the food range as well. So there's going to be a bit of kitchen, and we're going to be doing bits and bobs. Haven't quite settled on what we're doing yet, but once we're open, once we're figured it out, we'll be flying from there. But yeah, it's always going to be Northeast taps. Though I do have a soft spot for Kinniga Brewing in County Donegal, so I might do a couple of weeks of Irish for Paddy's Day, and there's going to be a lot of demand for Oktoberfest, so I imagine we might get a couple of Germans on for October. But other than those, that makes sense. Yeah, 2 weeks of the year, we'll have constantly 8 Northeast beers. And again, I mean, there is some good breweries across the country, Left-Handed Giant or Verdammt or something like that. But I feel like our breweries are better, arrogantly. And constantly, they're always going to be Northeast beers, which one of the first 8 will be North by Northeast by Thirsty Moose.
As you said, yeah. I almost forgot for a second.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Hey, but yeah, so you can't get it. Yeah. They already got 3 kegs of that.
No,
We got it. Yeah. Blinking. So, and then we're also going to be doing the teas and coffees. So it's going to be Cafe House from Cyprus. There's the house coffee. We're getting the Hugo hot chocolate. It's going to be the house hot chocolate. And we'll get this tea range in from Newcastle. I'm totally finished on that, but I know exactly who it is. I just didn't get them agreed. It's in. Sorry.
So I was going to say it's cool in a way that this has been like you sort of
A technical dish.
yeah, that you've like picked, like tried and tested beers and
So, and that's the thing. So I could talk to you all day about this kind of stuff, but in the new place, you can come in and taste it, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm not saying yeah, he's right."
Yeah.
Or you're like, "Yeah, that is good." So I'll take some on the way out or whatever. And the plan is to do sandwiches as well, but so it'll be like Mediterranean style sandwiches, but with a Northeast element to it. So whether that be prosciutto and burrata with a spicy mayonnaise from Screaming Chimp, or the Verdi Crush from Balefire with something, there's going to be a bit of Northeast in everything.
right.
And we're going to work that out, and we're going to work with some vegans to make sure we've got some nice vegan recipes. But it's all ticking along. Hopefully open soon.
So yeah, because like you obviously can't have one of everything open.
Yeah.
But if you have like one of each of the like one product from each brand, almost.
So like all the spirits will be open because we'll be serving gins or vodkas or whatever. And if you're going for the whiskies we do have in, because we'll have some Scotch open because we can't do single malt like Scotch do. So if you were thinking about buying a bottle of £90 whiskey, we'll have it open behind the bar because people are buying it by the glass as well. So you can have a little nip and see what you think. And like I say, the Adger from the Tangborough is going to be open all the time because that's going to be the house whiskies.
Gosh, like there can't be too many places open like that where they've got like a comprehensive tap room.
Yeah,
where you can't try everything before you.
I'm not too sure. I don't really think about anybody else. I don't know where, because you've got very specific craft beer pubs, and you've got wine bars, and you've got bistros or cafes, and I kind of feel like we're not with anybody. I feel like we're totally alone. I feel totally alone in just fitting in between everybody. So I work well with the breweries, and I work well with the wine shops and the wine importers.
Yeah.
And I sell wine to the breweries, and I sell beer to the cafes and the wine shops. And I feel like I'm just like a middle guy in the middle of everybody doing my own thing. So I don't really think about anybody else, or like comparing or contrasting what we've got, or like I don't think we're going to be competing with anybody because Lovel's got a lot of different options. Whether you fancy a rave in the Cannon on a Friday, Saturday night, or you want to like say the Cosmic Social is probably the best place to get a cocktail, Now is the bank. People like cocktails in there. And like I was saying about the beer job, so you can go there and get a proper craft. That's a proper craft beer pub. We're not going to be a proper craft beer pub. We're going to be a shop, cafe, deli, craft beer wine bar. So a little bit of everything, and not focused on one thing. Just other than we think the Northeast is better than everybody else. I don't know if that's right to say. And I'm the shop. But I did try to think of a tagline.
Yeah. I liked From Berg to Borough.
I don't know how often I used to see it from Berwick to Borough, from Wylam to Wooler, but then my mate kept saying the ring. So I stopped there, and I was going to say best of the Northeast, but all I could think of was Bone.
Wyland,
So,
Walsey.
Nah. So yeah, it is everything from Berwick to Borough.
Yeah.
But we actually do go down to Ripon and Moston, because nobody makes crackers in the Northeast. So when you're out doing this, if you want to encourage anybody to start making crackers in the Northeast, you'll have to start them.
Yeah.
And they've got Brass Castle Brewery in Moston, so I'm drawing the line there. Because obviously we've got Firebrick up here next to you guys in Bladen, who are totally gluten-free. Brass Castle also totally gluten-free. So I like to have a range of gluten-free beers in at all times.
Yeah.
Just to tick off some boxes. And it's nice to have a competition. I mean, a lot of breweries do gluten-free, and you got nice Juno from Twice Brewed and Hoop from Full Circle. But
Yeah.
it's good to have like a bigger range of option for those kind of things. And gluten-free and non-alcoholic beers have really took off in the last few years. So not took off, that's the wrong way to say it. They've really improved in quality in the last 2 or 3 years. So
Good.
there would have been a stigma about them a few years ago, but now I feel like they're gluten-free and non-alcoholics are up there with any other beer. Like there's no difference in quality.
It's definitely like a testament to the quality of the beer, where they don't have to shout from the rooftops and print gluten-free, right, slap bang in the middle. Like they've just got it tucked away.
Yeah.
Like the beer quality comes first.
Yeah.
And bonus, it happens to be gluten-free. And it's obviously such a considerable percentage of the audience of anyone's customer base.
Yeah.
And it's something we
And you've just got to be
different to
aware of people's requirements these days. I mean, and there should be the availability. I remember when we were kids, I was at the time of like 17, 18, 90, when we were out drinking, and one of the lads was celiac, all they could drink was cider. So, like, there's been, as we've grown up, I feel like we've come up as a different generation where we're more willing to accept people's differences and needs. So then people start to make things based on those needs. So even now, I was with some of 3 brothers, they make a low carbohydrate beer for diabetics because the brewer is diabetic. So they want to make different things for different people so everybody can access a good beer. That sounds a bit dismissive when I say it like that. Everybody can access a good beer, but everybody has the opportunity to have things that they want. So
sweet man. I'm curious to know, where do you draw like motivation, inspiration from?
So I don't know. I mean, I was somewhat with Daniel before, and I've always felt like quite. When I was growing up as a kid, they were like proper blokes, you know what I mean? So when I was saying we're a different generation, and I don't mean like we're softer or whatever like that. I think we're a bit more open, particularly about our emotions and stuff like that. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but with Daniel, we used to date as the football, and they used to, when I used to finish school on Friday, I would go to the club because they would sit there with all their mates, and I would listen to them tell stories, and maybe they would sneak us a half pint or a bottle of beer or something like that. And just listen to them, and they allowed me to be around them and to take part in what they were doing. And I would hear stories, obviously things they're not supposed to hear, and they were proper blokes, and obviously got up whatever they got up to, but they were always included us, and they were always very supportive of us. When I said to them, this is what I wanted to do, I'm going to quit the railway. I'd already quit the railway at this point. I want to quit my job, and I want to take over this shop, and I want to do what you use because I don't have any money. And they weren't like, fuck off, late chads. But went out for a few pints and we talked about it, and straight away they were like, yeah, let's do it. So I've always felt like, I don't know if inspiration is the right word, but I always felt like supported by them and looked after by them and included by them. So that would probably be where I get the sense of security from, I guess.
Yeah.
But inspiration wise, for like what we do here, I've always been environmentally focused. was an American campaigner for a lot of years, doing different things for different campaigns. So I always wanted to focus on the Northeast and the things that we make here, because I think that's how best we can combat climate change, is that we just use what's in our area. And so it's Northumberland cheese, and it's Donald's cheese, and just where we get our things. So when I'm going to be making bacon products, I'm going to be local butcher and saying I need poor mince or whatever. But things like Annex cider and sales is crisp and stuff like that. It's obviously we've already got the picture as the Italian pasta, South African, and all to it. Right, there's 3 yards where the pickle around side to have the video. But that's how I feel we should do, is just focus on using the products in our area, and that's how we best fight climate change. So my inspiration basically comes from things that are made in the Northeast, but the quality of the product as well. So I'm not sitting at home thinking like I'm so inspired by these cocktails from Gisborough, even though they are fantastic. I'm just thinking that this is Northeast, and I want to showcase off what we've got. And people come in and they ask for stuff, and that, like, I like nothing more when somebody comes in and says I had this wine in a restaurant, and I've never had it again, and it was delicious. So then I spend a few days looking through different wholesalers and importers and seeing who has it, and if I can get it in, and then I can put it on the shelf and I can say to them, look, I got the wine for you, and they're chuffed a bit. But then I can put it on the shelf and say, this is somebody's favourite ever wine. And then people buy it because they're like, oh yeah, that was good. And this person has personally recommended it to me, and I've recommended it to them. And then they can come and say, well, actually, I like this one. So I did that with a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc a couple of years ago. Well, not long, it's a couple of years ago, a few months ago. And then somebody else comes in and says, well, this is actually my favourite. And now that person's going to be doing drawings of our new buildings in this building for us. And I'm paying her in EOT Sauvignon Blanc.
Superb.
But inspiration, and I don't know, it's just
Sounds like you draw energy from the people that you work with, and
yeah, sure. I mean, my dad mate always looked after me, and I think they always wanted me to have a better life than them. Now I've got 2 daughters, and I just want them to have a better life than me, and I want them to experience these kind of things. Saying that, like, because obviously we grew up working class. Now they're growing up saying, can you bring them olives home from the shop? And I'm like bringing up middle class kids is quite infuriating.
yeah, they'll be working.
Oh,
soon as it,
no doubt.
yeah.
The oldest one's 13, she's already going to be a glass collector. But my youngest one, she's just turned 7 today, actually. And that makes us feel like a terrible dad now we're recording that. But all she wants to be in life is shopkeeper's assistant and work in the new place. And she keeps saying, come and go down, because it's my brother-in-law's doing all the work. So he said, we'll go and see what we'll go and see how crazy what he's done. But yeah, as soon as they can, they'll be in there. And all my mates' kids, they're coming into work. And but it's amazing how many people have rang us in the last 2 weeks telling us that they've got a 16-year-old who can collect glasses. I mean, I don't know how many glasses are going to be getting collected in this place, but everybody's going to be doing it. Yeah,
That's it's lush to hear that, like, so many people in the local community want to. It's like, it's clearly very difficult from what I've heard. What was it, like a 19-month journey from?
Yeah, so well, I just wanted a bigger place, so we're just looking to, and I seen a builder coming out, and as it happened, I knew the builder. Well, actually, it was the hairdresser's next door husband. Yeah, well, his husband's right. Managed to convince them to let us get in. And I just wanted to rent it, because we rent this now, and we needed a bigger location. I was like, that's been unused for 2 years. If people are watching, I'm pointing down, the building's 50 yards down the road. I'm pointing down the road, and they went, no, we want to sell it. So then I had to figure out, how do you buy a building as a company? How do I afford to do that? So got all that sorted out, but it was just a massive, incredibly difficult, unnecessarily difficult legal process to sort it out. And so I had the bid accepted in October 2024. We finally got the keys on like the 21st of December 2025. Obviously we were chock-a-block with here. As it happens, because we were busy here, I had to send my mum and dad over to get the keys from the solicitors in Jesmond, but they were double early, so they ended up having a drink in the what is it called, the station house next to West Jesmond Metro? Or not Jesmond, the first one you get to Jesmond Metro. It's next to the Indians, the Carriage.
Oh yeah, is it the Carriage?
Is it the Carriage?
Yeah, I think so.
Used to do a really good quiz, really hard quiz. Anyway, So they went there for a few they went there for a few pints, got the solicitors half cut, came back here half cut. Your best mate and his wife were here. And they were like, "Hey, you've got to go down." And I was chock-a-block in here. It was just before Christmas. I was like, "No, I don't want to go down and have a look." And they're like, "Yeah, you've got to go." So my best mate was like, "I'll watch a shop we'll watch the shop. You go down." I was like, "All right, we'll go down." On the notes that my mum had written, half drunk, she'd written, "It's the dirtiest key that opens the lock." I was like, "That's a lot of help. There's over 1,000 keys on this lock." So we'll open the door. By this time, it's about 3:30, 3:45 on a Friday afternoon, but it was before Christmas. All the kids are in the street, and we open the door, and the alarm goes off immediately. And I was like, "What's the alarm code?" Well, I don't know. So I heard shit. So my dad's drunk. He's standing in the street going, "The police will be any minute, it's Harriet." I was like, "Shut up, go back to the shop." So I couldn't figure out how to lock the door. And so I figured out, eventually figured out how to lock the door. And I didn't have anybody's number. And eventually I remembered there was a estate agent bloke who took us around. So I had his number, I rang him, and the way he's not in, I was like, "I have to speak to him right now." So he came on. And I went, "I need to know as the alarm's going off." Like everybody's looking at me. And he went, "All right, here's the number." I was, "All right, chat me." Got in, turned off the alarm, locked it back up, came back down here, came back up here, pardon me. And they were like, "How was it?" And I was like, "You go down, I just want to be in my shop alone." So they went down and had a look. But as it turned out, the alarm code for the building we went into was the same as the PIN number. So I was a bit like serendipitous. I don't even know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
And there's a building attached to it. There's another building there, but there's another alarm code, and that one's my birthday. So I don't know. Something
Getting a bit weird.
Yeah, it's it also like it's meant to be kind of thing. So otherwise it's going to fail spectacularly. But yeah, so we got in just after Christmas when it was quiet. Yeah, we ripped everything out, made one of my mates, and then second week of January the builder's been in, and we get it sorted. You've just been across there, the keg room's in, the heating's going in. On me,
Big radiators.
radiator's going in, yeah, because there's been no heating in it for 2 years. So and then we're making the toilets accessible, making the ramps accessible, all that kind of stuff. And as you know, it used to be a bank, so there's a massive 8-foot by 6-foot vault that we didn't know was there.
And 4 foot.
Yeah, I saw that.
What are you going to do with that?
Well, we didn't know it was there. So I did always think, why, I don't know what's in the middle of the building. There's just a gap, and there's no gap in the building, but then we've turned out there's a huge vault. So what we're going to do is the actual blokes with drills and stuff, we've drilled through the walls, put some ventilation in, put some piping in, so we've got water and electricity in there. So ideally, if it was in a different place, we'd use it as like a private wine booth type thing. But it's totally in the wrong place. So it's going to be, there's already a safe in there that we're going to use. And there's going to be a big wine fridge in there. And we're going to have more very expensive whiskies and stuff in there. So when people come in, we'll see how we can get it from the vault, where they need it. But
Well, yeah. That's
and also there's going to be a glass washer. So yeah. And then, but yeah, so we're going to use every bit of space we can. But as I say, the vault door comes out a good yard into where we thought it wouldn't be, so we've had to move stuff. So we've got to get rid of all these boxes, and we're going to have scaffold board shelving to get all the products on the walls. And then hopefully 4 or 5 weeks' time, we'll be serving teas and coffees during the day. And as soon as 12 o'clock hits and people want to start drinking, so we're going to make some money, get on the drink, and
at the free market to start.
we already do wine nights. Like, for example, we did one weekend in Northumberland Cheese, we did it with the ATFL Cricket Club and Cosmic Social, other places.
So will the likes of Northumberland Cheese come to your face?
Yeah, so we've our own space to do events. So once a month we're going to be doing more wine nights, but also all of those local suppliers I was just talking about, the vast majority of them, all the ones I've asked so far, are going to come up and do their own meet and maker night. So Northumberland Cheese are going to come down and talk about why it's called Reedsdale Chief Cheese and the new ones that they're coming out with. Hugo Hot Chocolate's coming up from Darlington, and he's going to make cocktails on the hot chocolates he's got. So I get this dark cherry rum from Whitby. So we're going to make dark chocolate, dark cherry rum cocktails, hot toddies, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping guys like yourself are going to come up and talk about your beers, and we'll put your beers on draft and cans, and we'll taste through them and why you do what you do and why you give a shit about why it is. And, what's right. I'd love to. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to ask everybody, and I'd love everybody to come down and talk about why they do what they do. And again, it'll be part of why we have them in, because you give a shit about what you do, so we give a shit about your product. and hopefully people enjoy the night and the drinks.
Superb.
Yeah.
No, the future's bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just need to open now.
You were mentioning St. Paddy's Day
Yeah.
earlier.
Mhm.
You're hoping to get open before.
So we hope it's to be open before then. But so what I was saying was we went to Dublin recently. Well, actually it was a year ago. And I struggled actually to find a nice craft beer scene around there. Loads of craft beer pints. Obviously you've got your Guinness and your Murphy's and your all that kind of stuff. But I was also, while I was there, looking for a good craft beer, and I only found on the very last night we were in this Asian restaurant, a really nice Asian restaurant called Hyundai, I think it was. If you're ever in Dublin, give it a go. And I found these Kinniga Big Bunny cans from County Donegal, and I was just absolutely chuffed with it. It was an amazing beer. So as soon as I got back, I got in touch with them, told them that I wanted the beers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sure," but we had to come Brexit, had to come via Northern Ireland from Salty Boy Distillery. So we won't be able to get their kegs in time for Paddy's Day this year because it's too early, and we're trying to set up the concept of Northeast beers. But we're still going to get the cans in, and we buy the kegs in and we sell them to other bars. Again, very arrogantly, I think it's the best Irish beer there is. We've got a big range of that, and even a ginger beer last year was amazing. So we'll get some more on that in the next month, but we should be open before Paddy's Day. And 7 pints anyway, and we'll have their cans in, and then next year we'll probably do a full tap takeover of theirs. If everything should go right, and we'll let them take over the taps for a couple of weeks in the back end of March 2027.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Grand. I mean, I don't know. I can't say with much surety that this podcast will be out in time for Leave You Open, but it's great to hear that you are like at long last.
Yeah. And I can't guarantee that we're going to be up back either.
Yeah, sorry, promises, but we're kind of like the home straight now.
Yeah. And all the hard stuff's done now. Well, the builders probably not say that, but it's like it's all like not the finishing touches, but it's like you can see the end now. It's starting to take shape.
Yeah.
And then soon enough we'll put the flooring in, and then it'll look ready, and then it'll just be decorating. And we've already got the furniture and stuff ready to go. The bar, everything will take a with. So every lad I've ever drunk with, every lad in the last I've ever drag with, I've been told to be here, and we're moving everything down there on the day that it comes, and then somebody else is taking over this place, and we're going to have to sell off a lot of these boxes and stuff. But yeah.
Sweet, man.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Happy days.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Well, I thought that was class. Thank you so much for
Thanks for coming in.
Spending the time and having a bit of crack with me. But just love being in your shop, and like it's just class to hear about all the different suppliers that you work with and what it means to the local community to get like stuff they would never have otherwise heard about and get quality stuff back in their kitchens. And
Champion.
yeah,
Thanks for coming in. Cheers, one of that.
Pleasure.
Ta-ra.